Hi everybody, and it's time for more Ask Dr. Lori. These are your questions and my answers. You can ask them anywhere, social media, write them right here in the comments, send them into drloriv.com, our website, whatever you want to do. I want to answer these questions. Let's get going. All right, let's see. What have we got? Hi, Dr. Lori. I love your energy and your incredible knowledge. Yeah, I wish I had more energy. You always need more energy. Let's see. What do you think of all these YouTube vintage thrifters going to Goodwill, garage sales, and reselling on eBay in mass amounts? Since they have a decent following, these pieces are selling on eBay for high prices. They're crazy. And a lot of the pieces are not even identified correctly or listed as what they really are. Well, what you think is a high price is probably a low price, I think. And I say that because, it's not about a following per se. You're saying, oh, they have a decent following, so this is why they're selling for all these crazy amounts. They're getting them at a big bargain and then they're reselling them. But if you resell them in the right place, you really can make money. I mean, these people are in the middle ground. I want you to be at the top of the game. The people who are really making money are buying from, of course, low areas, and then they're really selling in the right marketplace, and that's what I'm going to teach you. So, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people doing that. I'm featuring a lot of these real bargains on my Real Bargains videos, but for the most part, I think that more and more people are really going to find a lot of stuff, and you need to know how to correctly identify it, because when you go and you're looking on eBay, for example, and something's been misidentified, guess what? That misinformation hurts you. It hurts you. And people go, what do you mean it hurts you? It hurts you if something's misidentified, because if you use any of these other sites, eBay or anything else, as information and you get the wrong information, if they say, oh, this is this particular type of object, this is Kermit the Frog and they call him Miss Piggy because they got it wrong, well, guess what? Then you're going to lose out, because those particular pieces then, again, are misidentified. And don't use these sold listings as your end-all be-all for what value is. A listing is not a value, not the same thing. Every time I do Ask Dr. Lori, I use a different bowl to pick the questions out of. And this particular bowl is a Ned Foltz bowl. This particular bowl is a Ned Foltz fish bowl, and it's earthenware. It's redware, it's redware ceramic, and it's beautifully glazed and beautifully done. I love fish. I've collected fish for a long time. I like the fish form. I was a swimmer as a little kid, so they used to call me a fish. I love fish. This particular piece is worth about $250, and it's made in Reinholds, Pennsylvania. All right, next question. Let's see where we are. When is it worth it to rebind an old book? It's a very easy answer. It depends on the book. Okay, not every single book should be sent to a bindery and bound or have the spine secured or this kind of thing. Sometimes the books just aren't really worth it. So you have to make sure that you are not putting too much money into a restoration of a book. So it depends on the piece. It's not one easy answer. It's rarely one easy answer. People want okay, what's the answer? What's the answer? Just tell me the answer. I'm an impatient person too. I want one answer and let's go. I'm very, very black and white. I'm not gray at all. And all those of you like it when I say, oh, and I digress. Well, I digress. I'm very, very black and white. It's either X or Y, but that's not how the art and antique world is. It's not X or Y. It's not black or white. It's pretty gray. It will depend on the piece. If you have a first edition, The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, that might be worth rebinding. But if you have, one of those, throwaway old velo-bound cookbooks from the 1960s, that might not be worth you rebinding it. So it depends on the piece. Look at this one, all skinny. This is a very skinny one. Does an artist's work increase in value once he dies? I've always wondered that. This is a big myth. Big myth. Everybody says, oh, once he dies, it's going to spike in value, and not typically. Historically, the people who actually sell the best are teachers, people who have taught other artists. Those usually hold their value very well when it comes to paintings. And when it comes to artists, once they die, it's true they can't produce any more, right? So all the other works of art become more rare, but value doesn't automatically go up. It's a very big myth. You have to know how the art world works. Okay, what's next? Hi, Dr. Lori. How do you tell the difference between a Moustache cup and a shaving mug? I see people selling what looks like a Moustache cup, but they're listing it as a shaving mug. Here's my information. Here's what I say all the time. You have a thing and you're listing it wrong because you didn't identify it properly. It's very easy to know the difference between a mustache cup and a shaving mug. The way you tell the difference between a mustache cup and a shaving mug is the holes. A shaving mug will usually have holes where where the barber would actually move the soap around to basically lather up the soap. A mustache cup doesn't usually have that. It just has that inside area where the mustache actually would sit. So that's how you tell the difference. But when it comes to this, the confusion with respect to identification is really a big problem, and it's becoming a bigger problem as people are deciding that people who really are not experts, if you're seeing them as experts. When you start to decide that you're looking at these people and saying, oh, that person looks like an expert, but they're really not, sources are very important. You have to know who you're listening to. You have to make sure they do know and correctly identify pieces. So that's how you tell the difference between a mustache cup and a shaving mug. Occupational shaving mugs also have their occupations on them, but basically that's what you're looking at. Good question, nice question. And what's next? Let's see. Hi, Dr. Lori. Can you please explain the difference? What? Everybody wants to know to explain the difference between everything today? Okay. Can you please explain the difference between Slipware and Satsuma? Thank you very much. I really appreciate your videos. Thank you very much. If you really appreciate my videos, you need to share them. You need to share them and spread the word and tell everybody. So if you appreciate them, I need you to help me share them. But this is a good question. Slipware is basically, Slipware or the slip is basically the actual clay, and this slipware is usually applied on top of the heavy, leathery, strong clay body, right? So slipware could be splattered on, slipware could be painted on, slip could be actually in any way dripped on to a body of ceramic. So you've got a ceramic body like this, and then you want to put slip on top before firing. That's what you would do. Satsuma is very different. Satsuma is not the same as slipware. Satsuma is actually named for an area of Japan where certain types of pottery was made. Satsuma is also a term that is used for, in fact, a certain decoration style or decorative style of Japanese ceramics. And Satsuma also is actually related to this area of Satsuma in Japan, but actually early Satsuma was not Japanese at all. It was first introduced in the 1600s by, of course, the Koreans. So it's relatively interesting how these names start to get intertwined and we get mixed up. Satsuma is a place. Satsuma is a decorative style of Japanese ceramics. Slipware is actually a particular material that makes Moriage, right? Wet slipware on Moriage that makes pottery look a different way. But good question. Thanks very much for that. What's next? What else is in the fish's belly? That would kind of be good for like if you were making lobster bisque or you're making fish chowder. That would be good. New England, we had a lot of that growing up. Hi, Dr. Lori. I recently acquired a mid-1800s roll-top desk. It needs to be refinished due to mold. Oh, mold. Mold's never good. All right. So should it be done in shellac or as it was originally finished, or would it be a sin to finish it in polyurethane? Okay. It would be done by a professional restorer because it's way more work than I want to tackle. All right. Here's the thing. First of all, this conservator should decide which materials would be best for your piece. They will know. So I always say, don't go in there telling the conservator how to do their job. Let the expert be the expert. They think, oh, it's better to use this particular material or this particular technique or this particular item, then they should do that. The other thing about this is make sure that you're not throwing old money after good. Do you remember my mother would say something like that? She'd say, don't throw good money after bad, or don't throw something like that. The idea was, she had a way to say it though. The idea was that you don't want to be spending money on something that will never actually be retained to its original wonderful style. So when it comes to conservation or restoration, you have to think about a couple of things. You have to think about, is it important enough to me? Sentimentally, does it remind me of somebody? Was it great grandpa's? Did I really love him and I miss him? Whatever it might be. Those reasons. The other thing is, will this piece actually take the restoration or the conservation, and will it actually be better once it's been conserved? Most of the time, conservation or restoration really is better. it works out well, but you have to make sure that you're not throwing good money after bad. That's how you say it. I knew I'd get it. Anyway, this particular example is one. So if you have this, don't tell the restorer how to do it. If they know what they're doing and they're truly professionals, you know, you got to find a real professional restorer though. If they're truly professionals, they will know what to use, they will know how to use it, and they will know what is best for the age of your piece and the type of piece, and whether or not you have a lot of carvings or very few carvings in your piece will also impact what they select. So let the experts be experts. What else have we got? Let's see. Hi, Dr. Lori. I enjoy your videos. Thanks so much for doing them. I'm happy to do them. I'm happy you're watching. I'm happy you're learning. I really appreciate the comment. You know, I love it when you go, oh, I like when you go on a tangent, Dr. Lori, or, oh, you know, I love it when you talk about your old Italian family, or, oh, I like it when you have Kermit the Frog on the set, whatever it might be. You probably noticed my mug. The mugs here are, of course, to support the channel. How do I clean my grandmother's crystal punch bowl? In the sink? Well, you know, this is a story. So you're asking a good question. You're asking a hard question. I know you want to keep things clean. And I oftentimes joke, I would say, hey, you know, it's pretty good to be dirty. Be a little dirty. It's not so bad, you know. And the reason why I say something like that is because it can put cleaning all the time can put undue stress on aging objects. So I remember a time I was doing one of my events, and a gentleman came in and he said, Dr. Laura, you know, I have this American Brilliant Cut pitcher, big pitcher about this size, American Brilliant Cut, very beautiful, gorgeous handle, big crack down the whole thing. And I said, what happened? He goes, what happened, Dr. Lori, was I was trying to clean it before it came here. My wife said, you can't bring that dusty thing to Dr. Lori. And I always tell everybody, bring me the dirt, because you know what? The dirt is okay. Once you try to clean it, you might have a tragedy, and that's what happened. So what he did was he filled up the sink with water, and then he submerged the piece, and he was going to clean it with soap and water, and it cracked. So it went from sitting on the dining room shelf all those years into the sink with the water. He submerged it. That's like diving into a cold pool, a cold swimming pool. You get the shock to the system, and that shock to the system is what damaged that American Brilliant Cut glass pitcher. So he had that big crack, and you know, once it's cracked, you're done. You're basically done. So if you want to clean the punch bowl, what I want you to do is I don't want you to submerge it in water. If you're going to use any kind of water at all, it has to be lukewarm, room temperature, okay? Very, very, not cold, not hot. Oh, we got to get the dirt off. It has to be steaming hot. You know, my mother would burn us with the face cloth. I don't know if you had a mother like that. She'd be washing our face. We'd be little, and she'd burn us with how hot she wanted the water to be, so she'd get all the grime off our face. I don't know where we were, like we were in the coal mines or something. We'd just been outside playing. She'd, so hot. But anyway, this particular piece, and are some of you mothers and you can drink anything hot? My mother could drink like boiling water. Is that something you get with childbirth? I wondered that. So that's a question for all of you. So I want to know in the comments if you're a mom and if after childbirth you could drink really hot things. Because my mother said that was after she had the kids. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about this. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Cleaning grandma's punch bowl. So how do you clean it? Dust it with white cotton cloth. Don't use commercial cleaners. Don't spray end dust on it and then dust glass. I want you to get all of the surface dust away. Then you can very carefully take a white cotton cloth. You can put it into room temperature water with some white dish soap. So like an ivory soap or a white dish soap. Not too many bubbles. You don't want something that gets you a lot of bubbles, and nothing with a lotion in it. And very, very gently go over it, and you can do it that way. And then I want you to also wipe it again and wipe off any of the residue. A lot of people also like vinegar and distilled water when they are washing, the way you were taught to wash the windows in the old days. It's another way you can actually clean it. I always say don't be overzealous with cleaning anything. Try to just do the white cotton cloth, get the dirt and the dust away. The best way to keep things clean, dust them once a week. I know you don't want to do it. I don't want to do it either. Dust them once a week. Okay, what's next? Hi, Dr. Lori. I have my Etsy shop. Good for you. Good for you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're succeeding. I want you to do this. You can do this. And I try to price my items fairly. Well, that's good. Try to be honest. You'll have a business that's long-standing. I typically go a little less than what others with a similar item are asking for. So you're saying your prices are a little lower than others. Am I hurting the market if I undersell the true value? Thanks for everything you do to help us, whether we're buyers or sellers. Thank you. I do help buyers and sellers, and I appreciate that. So who are you hurting? You're not hurting the market. You're hurting yourself. And you're hurting yourself because what you're doing here is you're trying to price it lower than everybody else because you really just don't want to compete with everybody else. I want you to compete with everybody else, and you can do it and you can still win. And the thing about it is that these other sellers think that they're reflecting the true value, and odds are they might not be reflecting the true value either. So they're saying, okay, they're selling an item for $25 or $250. You're selling yours for $20 instead of $25 because you want to kind of undercut them, but you don't want to hurt the market. That piece may be worth $250 and neither of you know it. So why are you basically copying somebody who might have the wrong information on the test, right? So it's the same type of thing. They may not have the right number at $25. So learn the market, know the market, and then of course price to, of course, the market as best you can. If you want to undercut a little bit or negotiate, that's one thing, but you really want to think about not believing that all these other people, just because they're saying that's what the market is, you've got to look and really investigate the market. I can help you do that. I can help you do that. Any more in here? What else is in here? Oh, there's like a little piece of dirt. That's it. Okay, that's all we've got for today for Ask Dr. Lori. Those are my answers to your questions. Thank you for sending them in. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.